on your community station. At 7, Okanagan Life. An inspiring talk with the Mayor of Penticton, Jake Kimberly, and the Mayor of Kimberly, Jake Penticton. At 7:15, The Acoustics of Science. Echoes and how they affect the underbrush of Naramata. At 7:28, Around the World with Dr. George Merrington. Another look at a really big map and really tiny cities on it. 7:58, The Council in Review. A look back at the bloopers and practical jokes performed by your city councilors for the benefit of the community. At 10:58, News for Marmots and Other Furry Creatures. Nestle in with your favorite furry creature and review the day's events affecting those cute little fuzzy creatures of the forest. At 11:05, Mega Iron Man. A history of the great race as seen through the eyes of your local Mega Iron athlete, Rusty Muscles the Rooster. And at 11:30, Carry On Sleeping. Musical highlights from every musical performance known to man. That's tonight on your community station.
CSN, your Cribbage Sports Network.
And I'm Fergie Oliver, and with me as always on the Cribbage Sports Network for the International Cribbage World Championships, JJ Bisa-Clay. How are you?
I am very good.
Well, you know, it's going to be a real intense best 4 out of 7 tonight, don't you agree?
Well, I agree completely. You know, last year the champion was out. He just needed 28 points to win, and you know, the bloody guy just did it. He passed this guy, you know, and he win 1991 champion.
Yes, and last year's champ, Cardinal Fong, is not in attendance.
He's not. Well, I remember...
He's got papal commitments, and so it's anybody's board.
I remember 1975 that the champ never made it back, but the next year, you know, he came back and he won.
Right. Well, this year's combatants are vying for the Golden Skunks, and that they are Robert McFarland, or Robert 29 or Bust McFarland, which we all know him as, and Thomas Mobutu of Ireland.
Yes, you know that Thomas Mobutu, you know, he can really pull the points and the pegs. He just knows how to play. He knows which cards to play. If there's a run, he knows the run.
Well, JJ, let's get into action here.
Okay, let's hit it.
All right.
So I don't believe it. You know, he's pulling out an ace to start the game.
Oh, geez, that's an 11.
11. I remember, you know, in 1965, you know, this guy pulled an 11. And he just made it over the 11 mark.
And the next card, 15 for 2. Okay, we have our first 2 points scored of the game.
Oh, fantastic. I couldn't believe it. It's great.
Okay. And, well, now we're going to see the end of this hand. And, oh, look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. What? 31 for 2. It looks like Thomas Mobutu is ahead.
What a strategy there. You know, I mean, the guy just pulls the points. I don't know where he gets them from, out of his arms, under his ears or something. The guy just pulls
I don't know if he's pulling them out of there, but it's partially luck of the cards.
But I remember 1969, you know, Thomas, what was his name now? Thomas McGrantee.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a fantastic game. He pulled a 12 to start.
Oh, well, now we're going to see the pointing. Oh, look at this. We are 15 ahead, 15-6 in favor of Thomas Mobutu for the first game.
Yep, what a game. The guy is just playing the way he plays, which is a very strategic game.
Well, I hear by the voice in the trailer we have to go and take a commercial message, so we'll be back at the International Cribbage Championships from the beautiful Bahamas. I'm Fergie, here's JJ, and we'll be back shortly. Well, good morning, class. You might be wondering who I am. Well, you read the sign, you know who I am now. And this is morning semester. Believe me, it's morning. And this 10 minutes will seem like a semester. What are we doing today? Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about Canada. This lovely map, these names courtesy of the Department of Nicknames and National Defense, famous for such interesting nicknames as tuners, gappers, the whole bit. You'll understand that as we get along. There's something first I want to do before we get started here, and I think the only way I can do this is if my producer gives me a hand. You want to throw me a cigarette there, Bob? Huh. Bob's not awake either, kids. Thanks. Oh, yes, here we go. Okay, 1 second, children. There's nothing like a cigarette first thing in the morning. Okay, and a coffee, of course. You're lucky I'm an educator. See? 3 things. Cigarette, phone, and coffee. Now, taking it from the top again. Here we are, the National Department of Nicknames and National Defense. And we're going to start, I think, should we start with British Columbia or should we start with Newfoundland over here?
British Columbia.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Okay. So what we're doing here, kids, is we're talking about British Columbia. First, you remember BC? Home of Fantasy Gardens? Yeah, nice little plant shop, wonderful place. Anyway, British Columbia people are called coasters, courtesy of the Department of Nicknames and National Defense. And what that must mean is we have all this expansive coast over this little Alberta farmers thing, and we're on the coast, so obviously coasters. The city of Vancouver, people are called Cougars. Why? I don't know. Now, going east, Alberta. Nickname for Alberta is farmers. Why? Well, as again, we're talking Ottawa here, kids. Who knows? Cities in Alberta. You must remember cities in Alberta. Lethbridge, Medicine Hat. Well, they're not on here. Only Calgary and Edmonton. So, people from Calgary are called Peters. Well, not because of Peter Pocklington by any stretch of the imagination, but because of Doug Flutie. And the Calgary Stampeders. Get it? Good. In Edmonton, Eskimos, but we like to call them Scots. Now, a little bit about our funding for our program today, courtesy of the Canadian Football League and the Canadian Football League Expansion Organization. And I'll take this opportunity now to say, hey, John Candy, how are you? Now, here we are in Saskatchewan. This is a sore point with me. Saskatchewan people are called gappers. Why? Must be that big, expansive gap between Alberta and Manitoba. Did you realize there are only 13 curves and highways in Saskatchewan, and all of them are in your Saskatchewan Travel Information Guide? Circle those. Check them out. They're amazing. Now, the cities. Regina happens to be mini gappers. Why? Well, the riders never gave us any money for our program, so we're calling them mini gappers. Silly. Saskatoon. Tuners. Who knows why, other than maybe T-O-O-N. See, notice that? Tuners. Oh well, you kids will be able to put this together soon, won't you? Now, moving over to Manitoba. That's Manitoba. Are called Lakers, land of the 10,000 lakes. Yes, believe it or not, we got 10,000 lakes in Manitoba. And a couple of sloughs and creeks and reservoirs. Okay, Winnipeg. The Peggers. Why? Well, again, like Regina, no money from the CFL team, so they call them Peggers. Is that a spelling error, or is that right? That's right. Oh, thanks, Bob. Okay, Ontario, glass. Now this one this is the historical hub of Canada right here. Ontario called centers. Why? Because they're in the center of our map today. The cities, Toronto, well, the Goes, we were going to call McNall's, but he hasn't bought that much yet. And the Rockets, nothing. But Toronto are called the Goes, and Ottawa are called the Bureaus. Well, we all know why Ottawa is called the Bureaus. We don't have to remind you. They paid for this map. Alright, Quebec. Here's a fascinating problem with Quebec. Quebec! People are called left-wingers. Why? Well, a lot of left-wingers come out of Quebec. And usually what happens to left-wingers that come out of Quebec is that they get into contract disputes and end up moving to Philadelphia. Now, speaking of Quebec, Quebec City, well, their nickname is the same. And Montreal is also the same. Why? We couldn't afford more than one nickname. Next, we'll go to Labrador. Give them a little privilege here. Labrador. People in Labrador are called retrievers. And in their city, it's Goose Bay. Yes, they have a city there, believe it or not. And they're called Goosies. With us so far? We're going to be taking quizzes on this later. In Newfoundland, now that I'm waking up. Let me tell you, Newfoundland people are called Newfies, tough call. And the city of St. John's, people are called Johnnies. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. The last three of our provinces here. They're called timers. Why? Are they biding time in Canada, perhaps? Who knows? Or they could be maritimers, but we're not sure. Fredericton? They're called Freddies. No Nightmares on Elm Street there. Charlottetown are called Charlies. And the Halifax are called Faxies. Now, Faxies are those things that you get when somebody phones you up and sends you a letter or something through a machine, and it spits it out, a copy of it. That's a faxie. That's where they were created, in Halifax. So there you have it. Canada, a beautiful country, 125 years old, and still going strong. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you, we're going to get something done about this Saskatchewan Gapper thing before our next class. Okay, kids, that's all for me. It's going to be Uncle Andy's story time coming up right after this commercial. Thank you. Bye.
And now, a message from the Premier of British Columbia. Hello. But, taxes, but, my chin, but, pork barrel, pork, but, give all of my friends jobs, but, doctors, friends, but, taxes, more taxes, but, liberals, but, Socrates, but, bye. And that was a message from the Premier of British Columbia.
Now for an apology.
We would like to apologize for the way in which politicians are being presented in this program. Not to imply that politicians are little political time servers who are more concerned with their personal agenda and private power struggles than for the people that they represent in their constituencies, and to suggest that at any point that they sacrifice their credibility by denying free debate on vital matters, well, in, of course, their mistaken impression that party unity comes before the well-being of the constituency that they represent, nor to imply at any stage that they are bickering pairs of undies without an ounce of concern for those people and the vital social and environmental problems of today. Nor indeed do we intend that viewers should consider them as centipedal dregs of the earth with hairy armpits and an overabundance of body odor that people might find offensive. We are sorry that this impression has come across. Thank you.
That was an apology.
It's time now for Uncle Andy's story time.
Hi, children.
Hi, Uncle Andy.
And hi to you children at home. We have a story today. It's a moralistic story, one written about the problems that we're having right now in this country. Sort of on the same lines as Little Red Riding Hood and the one about the little bird that gets the thing on the head. Those stories. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we
Tell
go.
me more.
There once was a man from Quebec. His friend said, "Hey Brian, what the heck? You should be Prime Minister. All you have to be is sinister." And now he's a nervous wreck. So Brian went into the elections, but he couldn't handle the objections. The people voted in force, and he won, of course. Then he put down the rejections. His province went into discord, so he gave them what he couldn't afford. Government grants, a new pair of pants, tried to entice them with a meech-like accord. But Clyde Wells had other plans, because he had so many fans. Spoke for the people, high on his steeple with the native Indians in the stands. Now, Barassa said with a wink, "Hey, mon ami, what do you think? We know what we are for, but I tell you we want more. We just want to be distinct." So, children, what do you think is the moral of this story?
That everyone's supposed to live in peace and harmony and we're supposed to be nice to each other.
No, I'm very sorry, that's not right. Bobby, do you have an answer?
It's not who you know, it's who you...
Right! Very good! Well, we'd like to thank all of our viewers and watchers and, of course, our little audience out here today. We will see you next week with another version.
here to see the boss.
Oh. I'll call him. Hi. Uh-huh. Yeah. No. Karaoke? I don't know if I can hit all those high notes. Uh-huh. Oh, I know. I know. Well, it really depends. Mm-hmm. Well, no. No. Yeah. Oh, you're such a kidder.
The boss? Bob? Me?
Oh, by the way, Bob's here. Uh-huh. Okay, I'll bring him up. Yeah. Okay. Bye. He's told me to take you up.
It's about time.
This way, come on.
Jeez, here we go again. Come on, it's everywhere. Oh,
This way.
sorry.
God, some people. By the way, do you have a light?
Doesn't the boss have one?
Well, we're not at the boss's office yet.
Well, let's send her a card.
I mean, you're a reporter? Oh my God.
I gave up smoking for something better.
We're so incompetent.
Okay, fine. You want a lighter? Here.
Yes.
Hope you burn your hair.
So incompetent. Don't push into me. Wrong floor. Well, I'm so.
It's all right.
Well,
More active.
that's just too bad. I hate men. I
Lunch.
hate men.
Yeah, give me that lighter back.
God, they can't even make up their mind.
It's about time.
By the way,
Hey, boss.
I am going to karaoke tonight.
Okay, Miss Legg, we shall have a very good time. I think my friend here would like to talk. We'll talk later on.
Okay.
Please call.
Of course.
Well, boss, what do you think?
I don't know, the style is great, but the content
What do you mean, content?
might be questionable.
I researched it for weeks.
Well, you said that in your article. But what about the majority?
Did you know that 49% of our population is affected by this?
Well, that's just too bad. There's just some things we cannot print.
Yeah, I don't care about the majority.
Hello? Yes? No? No? Yes? Smoke on the water. Yeah. Yes? No? Yes? Yes? You know that Frank Sinatra tune, My Way, or... Yes? Yes? No? Yes? I know. I know. Look, I know. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
This is censorship. It's in the charter. I have the right to report it.
I have the right to spike it.
Censorship! That's what this is, censorship!
Well, listen here. You write what I tell you to write, or you'll be filling out UI cards.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah! What I tell you to write? Now listen. I've had it. Do you remember that lawsuit that we had? There's that Gucci dresses and the men that wear them?
That got to do with lazy white guys and the foods they eat.
Everything!
I'll tell you what's wrong. I still haven't got a job.
Oh yeah, how long's it been?
2 years. You know, this country seems to have no need for psychos anymore.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean, yep.
They seem to think that you'd be some kind of detriment or something.
Tell me about it. No one needs a nuclear physicist anymore either.
Look, I didn't go to OK College for 4 years not to have a job, and I'm good at it too. One time I was in this interview, and I pulled this guy's arm off, but that didn't help. So I tried to pull his head right off, but that didn't even get his attention.
Would have gotten mine.
Thanks. It's about time for some positive feedback.
You want feedback? Feedback? I once put a small bomb in the back of a Pinto. The bloody thing had got rear-ended. Ruined everything.
Really?
Yeah. Here they thought the gas tank exploded. But no, it was my bomb. So they recalled all Pintos. Go figure. So where does a nuclear physicist and a psycho get a job anyway?
Summerland!
Repeat the law. Not to hunt men or shed blood. That is the law. That is the law. He who breaks the law must go to the house of pain. Back to the pain!
Of the galaxy he came. Trash man. In 1991, from the planet Refuse, in the Alpha Debris Galaxy, a small craft was launched. His destination Earth, a planet about to clean up its act. Paul Nesbitt, a mild-mannered government employee, but by day he is known as Trash Man. Ecologically sound and environmentally friendly, this Avenger of your local garbage man fights for the never-ending battle for pickup, delivery, and the sanitation engineer's way. He is Trash Man. His immediate mission is to rid this unwasteful society of blue recycle boxes that rid his companions in the garbage industry of jobs and the pursuit of happiness. He is Trash Man. After making a garbage adjustment, he flies up. He flies up. He flies up, and then down. And then realizes he is too tired to do that. So he stops for a cigarette break. Because he is Trash Man. So with a friendly goodbye, people stop to thank with the Trash Man on a job well done. Thank you, Trash Man, and Godspeed. Next episode, Trash Man meets Recycle Man. And now back to the CSN, the Cribbage Network.
Well, folks, glad you could make it back to the International Cribbage World Championships. I'm Fergie Oliver, JJB Saclay as always. And in case you missed it, we've been watching these games unfold over the past 3 hours. And let me tell you, Thomas Mobutu is in incredible shape right now. He was leading 3-2.
Yeah, but some things just happen in this game. You just cannot grasp. You just don't know when it's going to happen.
Exactly, just like in Game 6. Game 6, Mr. South Africa, that is, of course, Team South Africa. They were 3 points away from being skunked, believe it or not, and they pulled off a big come-from-behind victory in Game 6 to force his 7th and deciding game. A 24-hand and an 11 in the crib.
The guy's just amazing.
And it's incredible, and we'll show you this. If I can get my learned colleague to call the play as I'm doing it here.
Okay.
You see, what happened was he was 3 behind the skunk hole, or the stinker, if you, depending on what you want to call it.
Yep.
In different countries, they got different names for the different holes. Okay, like every hole, 120 holes, to have different names, right?
Okay, so he scored a 24.
Okay, so he pulled a 24, the basic one, 8, 7, 6s, and, extra in the hole. He pulled an 11 from that with his crib into the winning hole, which completely putting up Mabutu, and he just flabbergasted. He got up, he walked away, he had to go to the bathroom.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we are now going to go back into Game 7 action. We are looking at about halfway there. It looks to be like Mobutu is trailing by 16 points.
Well, he'll pull up. I have a lot of faith in Mabutu. I think he can really grasp the game.
Okay, let's get back to the action then. And we're starting off with, we're picking it up as they're counting the cards, and it looks like it's Mobutu's crib. And what is happening here so far is, oh my God, an 8-point crib.
He pulled that. I remember, in 1979, exactly the same thing happened. Just could not believe that this kind of a move would re-happen again.
Well, that was Team Soviet. Captain Boris Yeltsin, of course.
Yeah. Which, as we know, Boris has gone to greater heights.
Exactly. He is a world champion crib player and now a world leader.
Traveler. Oh,
yes, world leader and world traveler.
Yes. He's been around. He's made the world run. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. And we'll see this, and we'll be back again shortly. We'll show you a little bit more action, and we'll show you the presentation of the Golden Skunks when we return. Thank you. To come on your community station. Saturday night, 7 p.m. Me podiatrist, you podiatrist. An in-depth study with Dr. Reginald Maulding III on how your feet can look as good as his. At 7:15, it's our 5-star movie presentation of Day at the Races, a classic remake of the ever-humorous Marx Brothers comedy starring the Danny Brothers, Danny DeVito, Danny Glover, Danny Quayle, and Danny Bonaducci as Zeppo, plus a special guest appearance by Andre the Giant. This 1975 movie is guaranteed to make you laugh. At 7:28, are you watching? Open line phone-in show to test our viewing audience to see if anybody is actually watching. At 7:58, 20,000 Leagues in the Okanagan. A look at the biggest baseball tournament ever held, anywhere, ever before, right in your backyard. At 10:58, Parlez-vous French? A documentary on the rise and fall, and the rise again of the Germans from Visigoth time to today. At 11:05, Swiss-made Jamboree. Conversations with Swiss maids Helga and Frida on the state of the banking system. And at 11:30, get into my car. Police surveillance show on the same lines as those other police surveillance shows. That's Saturday night on your community station.